Okay, so we've got our family put in. We've got a little bit about our high school experience put in. So now we are going to move on to testing and talking about testing and the SATs. So on the Common App. So the colleges are going to want you to if they require test scores, which a lot of them won't, but if they do require it, they're really going to want to see those scores directly from the testing services. But the Common App does give you the opportunity to self-report scores here. It's kind of a preliminary thing. Now, if you're applying to a school that is test optional and you don't want them to see your scores for whatever reason, then don't report them here and don't send them to them. But if you a lot of schools, including the Florida ones, are moving back to requiring tests. So you might want to give them a snapshot here if you want to. But again, you're ultimately going to be sending these scores. SAT scores are not on your transcript, but your FBHS transcript, by the way. The only way to get those sent is directly from the testing service. So this is asking me, I am going to self-report. It's asking me how many tests or what kind of tests that I want to do. I'm going to do SAT here. I would not send or self-report your AP tests at this point. Colleges don't really use those for admissions. The SAT subject tests are a different thing that doesn't even really exist anymore. So you're probably not going to put that. And then FBHS doesn't really do these other things either. So we're just going to do SAT for this. If you have an ACT, of course, that's fine to put on there. And then this is asking about, this is related to international students, which you are probably not. So we'll continue here. Okay, so a little deeper dive on these SAT scores that we said we wanted to report. Okay, so how it's asking us how many scores that do we want to do. So let's say you took the SAT in September of your junior year, April of your junior year, and then again in June of your junior year, the end of your junior year. So September score, it was fine. It was just kind of a starting point for you, but your score was unremarkable. But you had your best reading score in April and then your best math score in June. Well, we probably only need to report those two scores that are our best ones. So I'm just going to put two. SAT essays not really around anymore, so I'm not going to report that. It's asking you if you're going to test again in the future. So if you think like, well, I might test this October, then you would put one. Again, don't sweat the small stuff. If you end up testing in October and December, and you're like, oh my God, I was going to test once. What? They're never going to see my other score. It's going to be a whole Common App thing. It's not. It's fine. Don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, but let's put that we are going to test again in October. Just give them a heads up. Okay, what's our highest reading score? Let's say that was a 600. Again, I said that we took that in April. That was the end school. I think we did that on April 1st. Okay. Again, if you look back at your calendar, if you put April 1st and submit it, then you say, oh my God, that was April 3rd. What am I going to do? I lied to the Common App. Doesn't matter. It's fine. They're not worried about that. Let's say our math score was a 602 from that June test. All right. So we got that in. Again, they're going to want to see those. Okay. Or they're going to want to see those scores from the testing services. So activities. Okay. So here is where we're going to kind of put in our resume. Okay. This is kind of the resume piece to this. Now, Common App only lets you put 10 activities, up to 10 activities in here. So a lot of our students are going to have more than those. So before you get to this section, or when you get to this section, I think it's wise to kind of take a step back, take a few minutes, and mull over what activities you want to show them. This is your opportunity to show the colleges kind of who you are outside of your the classroom. Okay, some things that make you tick a little bit, and this might be something that you want to show a little bit of well-roundedness to. So, I think it's important to consider the whole picture of you. So you might want to choose some representative areas. So let's say, and it also asks you to put these in order of importance to you. So if you have played basketball your whole life, and you love the game of basketball, and that's super critical to you and who you are. But you know what? You're not the captain of the team. You're maybe don't even start your senior year. You're not that good. Okay, but it's still important to you. That's still maybe something that we put number one here. Okay, so for that, I'm sorry. We're not going to put athletics club. Okay, a club activity would be an activity that's not like officially sanctioned. So maybe the FHS pickleball club or something like that would fall under this category. But if you play like for FBHS and wear like the whole pirate uniform and everything, then you're going to be this one here. Okay, so let's say we're going to put basketball here, possession leadership. Let's just say we're shooting guard or whatever. Medina Beach High School. You might want to describe this activity a little bit. Okay, what was it about? This one's pretty easy. Okay, played important bench player on the school's varsity basketball team. Boom. Okay. And we can say we did this all 12 years, or I'm sorry, all 4 years. And I said varsity up here because maybe that's where we are now. All right. I think, that's, you're splitting hairs a little bit. Say, well, it was technically JV in 9th and 10th grade or whatever. It's probably all right. Okay. Timing of participation. Well, we did that during the school year, right? Hours per week. Okay. Basketball season doesn't run year round. Okay. There is some summer stuff. So I would sort of answer this question not thinking about a 52-week year when you didn't play basketball all 52. I wouldn't be averaging. I would say the time that I was playing basketball, how many hours did I speak? I know spend. I know that we practiced Monday through Friday for at least 2 hours a day. So I'm going to put 10. Let's say if you count in the summer and everything else that we did in the season, I did 20 that for 25 weeks. Do you intend to participate in a similar activity in college? Well, I'm probably not good enough to play in college. So no. Okay. Of course, you might play pickup basketball and stuff here and there. Well, that's not all that I did. Okay. So let's add something else. I got athletics covered here. Okay, let's say that I'm also treasurer of NHS. Okay, so I'm going to add, that's an academic thing. I'm the treasurer, National Honor Society. Okay, what's the National Honor Society all about? Well, or how do you get in it? Service group that requires 3.5 GPA for admission. We got inducted that 11th, 12th grade. All right, that's great. Okay. When did you do that? Well, that was during the school year, all year thing. Okay. I don't know. We had an hour a week, and school year's about 38 weeks, so we'll do that. You're gonna do that in college? I don't know. They don't really have NHS in college. I'm not opposed to that, so that's fine if we put no. All right, now we've got. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Go back to this activity. So we're just going to go back over here and click that if I got ahead of myself there a little bit. Okay, let's add another activity. We've got some groups like Senior Men, Little Women, Beach Buddies, Link Crew that kind of don't necessarily exist at every high school. And those are things that are kind of exclusive to Fernandina. So we might need to explain those a little bit more. So let's do Senior Men. I'm going to call that a community service thing. position. I was just a member. I didn't do anything special. Okay, senior men. Describe this activity. Group of involved seniors who participate in various service activities. All right. And then senior men, that's probably a senior thing, right? During the school year. Okay, call it an hour a week for 38 weeks. Okay. All right. So again, you might want to think about, how to describe these things a little bit, what to say about them. This is what I mean about taking a step back, before you just go to town on these things and think about what you did. If you have work experience, that's where this goes to. Work experience can be important. That's one of the options here. So let's do that. Say I work at Fantastic Fudge, but I'm just a ice cream scooper. I don't know if they've got something better than that. Official name. If you work there, you probably know what that is. And then you just want to describe that a little bit. Worked, register, and served ice cream and other treats to customers. Again, you might be able to come up with something better than that. Well, I did that in the 11th and 12th grade. But kind of only did that during the summer. I didn't work during the school year, so I'm going to put break. But I worked about 10 hours a week for 12 weeks. Probably won't work in college. Okay, so you can pick up to those 10 things. Again, I would curate your activities a little bit and think about exactly what you did and which things you want to highlight. I think variety here is helpful. Okay, so if you have it, if you don't, then you don't. That's not the end of the world. And I wouldn't stretch things here too. You're like, well, sometimes I go over to my grandma's house and I help her change the remotes and her battery. So I'm going to put, that I'm helping the elderly or something like that. I don't know about that. If it's something that's really meaningful to you that you really do, then I think put it. But I think you got to walk a thin line. I wouldn't stretch this too far. You don't have to have 10 things. Okay, you really don't, and not everybody does. And there's a lot of people who have more than 10 things are going to have to cut some stuff. But again, I wouldn't stretch this too far if you can help it. Okay, we're going to move on. Oh, I missed something here again. What do I do? Oh, it's because I hadn't finished this yet. Okay, so this is just asking if are there anything that maybe keeps you from doing some of those other activities? Maybe you've got to help out with the family business, or this is where you kind of indicate that you spend a lot of time helping your grandmother who's not well, or you don't have internet. So if you have some special circumstances, we're going to put those here. There's another section that we're going to talk about in the next video where you can expound on some of these things a little bit. So don't get too far ahead of yourself with this, because there's actually what I think is a better place to answer some of these questions that we'll see in just a minute. But so for now, I'm going to click none of these, and then we will continue and pick this up in another video.